Mark Golding just nail, driver nail in a castic. I can't believe say the man come out from public platform come make a statement like that about the vice note. Brother, it better you shut him out, you know. It better you shut him out, you know. You right off your whole political career because some people believe in you. Not believe in you again. Can be a garbage you come and chat. How you mean say the PMP now not really the vice note? Basically like I say, you know, when you have a sitting councillor will represent the party, then a vice note, a chat in fuckery, and a plan to sabotage Jamaica, and you have come on public platform, I'll talk like that is nothing, and talk about your man of integrity. You know, waste of time. I want you to know how I can trick people and trick it done said, and the poor people them were vulnerable, they can't help themselves. That's all I do, you know. Walk and trick the naughty people them, and the people who no good, because no sense of Jamaican. Now run back a PMP. Bongo sons. But there's some sense of Jamaican that run back at them still, you know. But then get carried away and last. But you know most target the man with no teeth in their mouth, the whole woman them, when they have nothing for them ban. Some lazy people and them people they support who know. Cause I can't believe say you is a man we say you're full of integrity. Come out and make a statement like that. He's a liar, brother. He's a liar.
In the news lately regarding the leaked voice note from the People's National Party's WhatsApp group to want to stop NARA from coming into reality. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you this. The People's National Party know that if the NARA is executed, it will show that the Jamaica Labour Party's government is more competent than the previous People's National Party's government. So anything that threatens their party coming back into power, they're going to try to use it as a weapon against the Jamaica Labour Party. You know, ladies and gentlemen, the other day I hear churches, so-called churches, because those persons that have been using the churches to cover their political agenda is showing that they are undercover activists for the People's National Party. I haven't heard any of them coming out to condemn what the People's National Party have been doing. And I don't hear any of them coming out, any of those so-called civic groups coming out to condemn the People's National Party for even suggesting something like that. And ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Wheatley, I think, what's his name, Andrew Wheatley? I hear how many groups coming out, even persons that are supposed to be neutral, claiming to be church group, suggesting that Mr. Wheatley should resign or the Prime Minister should dismiss him from government duties because of an IC report that is not even so clear, ladies and gentlemen, about his personal money that don't have nothing to do with taxpayers' money. It's his personal money, ladies and gentlemen. So they want him to resign because of the IC report about his personal money. And yet, the People's National Party is using a strategy to stop NARA or to slow down NARA, while at the same time they are saying that the government need to do more for the people who have been severely impacted by Hurricane Melissa. And this NARA bill, ladies and gentlemen, that the government has brought into law is to speed up the recovery process that the people have suffered due to the impact of Hurricane Melissa. If you notice, even many places have gone out of business. I hear the recent statistic that unemployment have increased, ladies and gentlemen, have increased due to the fallout that businesses suffered as a result of Hurricane Melissa. Now the government is trying, ladies and gentlemen, to speed up the process so that persons can get employed again, so that persons can stop living under tarpaulin, so that persons can get back their lives together. And the People's National Party is trying to sabotage it, and I don't hear any civic group coming out speaking against it. I don't hear any church group speaking against it. And I say this to say that, ladies and gentlemen, why have the church allowed politics to corrupt it? Or should I say, why some church leaders have allowed politics to corrupt them? Ladies and gentlemen, the views of these people does not represent the views of all churches. And they should stop using the name church group. Because, ladies and gentlemen, a person's personal opinion is not the opinion of the entire church body. And when I hear persons using the name church group, ladies and gentlemen, it gets me very upset, because I myself is a clergyman and I do not support what they are saying. Because, ladies and gentlemen, the People's National Party had always been like this. They are not interested in the development of the country. Anytime you see the country developing, it's always under the Jamaica Labour Party's government. And why I say this, ladies and gentlemen, it's because I'm not saying, mark my word, I'm not saying that the People's National Party have not done nothing for Jamaica. I'm not saying that. But most of the work that contributed to the development of this country are done by the Jamaica Labour Party's government. And the People's National Party know that if the NARA bill is executed, it would have undermined their chances, or should I say, it would have slowed their chances to return to power. It would have slowed their chances to return to power. Because the people would look at the work that NARA is doing and use that as, should I say, they would use that as a solid evidence that the current JLP administration is working and the PNP is threatened by it. So they are trying to use dirty politics to undermine the NARA bill, so that, ladies and gentlemen, the Jamaican people would look at it as a joke and would vote the People's National Party back into power. They are power hungry. And because they are power hungry, ladies and gentlemen, this is what they have resorted to. And I don't hear any civic group coming out to condemn them. I don't hear any so-called church group coming to condemn them. Shame on you so-called pastors who have been supporting the People's National Party and is not condemning this act of dirty politics that they are playing. And why I say that, ladies and gentlemen, they don't understand that people need to get their lives back together. They don't care about that. All they care about is getting back into power so that they can wreck the economy once again, like what they did when they were in power. Ladies and gentlemen, seriously, I have to wonder, what happened? Have the so-called civic group become corrupted by politics? Have some of these so-called church groups have been corrupted by politics? Ladies and gentlemen, I am thinking.
Including the RJR Communication Group, the 28th Civil Society Group, the churches, IRFM Observer, the CVM, Academia, and Mr. Abrams, Hypocrite Bombaclad. How on sleep at night? How on sleep at night? Uno never was doing anything for Jamaica. Uno had a country for a very long time. Why, when you guys were in power, especially in the 90s, every other Caribbean country was progressing? Why was Jamaica stagnant? Because your intention was to keep people stagnant so you can control them. When you give them $5,000, then fees are the best thing they ever get. But only didn't want them to have anything so they can depend on it. That's why one of them always stand up at Blood Clad Parish Council on Friday. See? And now the country is going in a direction, crime down, what investors are coming. People when we live in some far place in the world, in a first world nation, want to come get citizenship to live here. I will not fight against that. No wonder Dr. Andrew was playing chess, because the world see what he's doing. But who know bad mind Bumbo Jamaicans, who no see because of the Bumbuckler freeness.
See, the statement when put out regarding the leak, the statement when put out regarding the leak are the best thing you can do. You can't do nothing else. Remember, the party divided and him in a survival mode. Yeah? Him need the delegates them to support him in the contest for the president of the People's National Party. Him can't come out come chide none of the people who were on the chat at about sabotage the country and the people them well-being. Yeah man, so when I say him foot tying up, Mark Golding in a trouble. I'm in more trouble than I want to think. He can't come out and reject, you know, the people them who are on the chat. I said them want to sabotage the country. So that's why he come out and stutter and read off you know, the little talking points and when I hear go on TikTok with the vloggers them. Because the vloggers them don't say what him say already, you know. They on my Twitter, they don't post already and say this is come out, come say. Go check it. They on my Twitter, I post what him say yesterday. Me did post a vlog, one of them vlogger, one of them PMP vlogger, I said the same thing. I say, I bet you this is come out, come say. And so said, so done. And him can't do anything else. Because him can't lose no support if he want to retain the leadership of the People's National Party. I'm in trouble. And I can't believe, say, Damon Crawford, what's your rat here? I can't believe, say, people like Damon Crawford is a decent human being. Yeah? With a support them talking upon the WhatsApp about to sabotage the country. Just to get political advantage. So I'm in trouble. Yeah? I can't believe say Philip Palwell, from rate Philip Palwell, I can't believe say him in a supporter or something like that. I'd be shocked, I'd be totally disappointed. If people like Philip Palwell are supporter or something like that, I rate them man there. I rate Damien, I rate Philip Palwell. You see? Yeah man. So, Mark Golding on the ropes. Keep him on the ropes, Labour right. Don't stop talking about it. Because of wickedness them keep up. You can't sabotage the country for political mileage. I borrow money to fix back the country. And if you sabotage the NARA program purposely, see, just a political mileage, then you're a wicked man. Because if the money mash up the country, the economy in a problem. More problem than what it may be in right now based on the disaster we just go through. You see? So, Mark Golding, there is numbered 100%. But I'm not business about that part because that's a PMP business. You see? And I want him to stay the leader for Andrew beat him again. I want Andrew beat him to sickness the next time. The next time I not him want to win 5 seats. Yeah. 4 term loading.